everyone! What's the difference between history and literature? And what happens when the tragic life of a woman meets history and is laid down on paper? For those of you curious, try reading the Memoirs of Lady Hyegyong. Here, we read about the eventful life of a woman amidst the makings of history, and we find that life, more than literature, is under the spell of fate.
This book consists of a total of 6 volumes. It is an essay written by the mother of Jung, king of Joseon dynasty. The author, known as Lady Hyegyong, is known to have led the most dramatic life among the women of the Joseon dynasty. She married the crown prince and saw him fall to his death under a conspiracy. This book is about the process of events and the aftermath of her experience. It was the most tragic event of the Joseon dynasty. A father, the king, put his son, his successor, in a rice chest and left him there to die. This happened in 1762. Someone witnessed this firsthand. She is the author of this book, Lady Hyegyong. She starts to write her story 33 years after the event.
역사적인 어떤 그 객관적 사건의 진술과는 다르게 자기의 경험을 주관적인 입장에서 해설하고 있다는 겁니다. 이를테면은 자기 남편 사도세자가 죽기 전에 그 살려고 하는 그 욕망에 찬 절규라든가 또 그 아들의 그 간구를 무참하게 무시하고 뒤지에 뚜껑을 닫아버리는 아버지의 모습이라든가 또는 그 담장 밖에서 숨죽이면서 그런 광경들을 지켜보았던 아내의 어떤 심정, 그리고 나중에 정조가 됩니다마는 아들의 손을 잡고 미래를 기약하는 어떤 여인의 한, 아주 생생합니다. 사건을 이렇게 생생하게 묘사하는데
The specialty of the memoirs of Lady Hyegyong does not lie only in the dramatic plot. The author has something more. Her language has royal grace, her style is elegant, and her story unfolds with true suspense. A total of 3 kings appear in the story: her father-in-law, his son, and grandson. The secret feuds for power are also portrayed vividly. We see this in a perspective different from the history of the royal family.
This was a woman who had to protect herself from the dark battles for power within the palace instead of just being the wife of her husband. As time passed, her tears gave way to the strength to view her story more objectively. This makes her story all the more historic.
The antimony of her world. To side with her husband would be putting her father-in-law in the bad, and to agree with her father-in-law would be rejecting her own husband. The author successfully overcomes such inexpressible discord. The conflict is expressed like this: I am deeply indebted to His late Majesty. Not only did I receive from him kindness and affection each day as a daughter-in-law, but I also owed to him the reprieve of my life after that incident. I am, however, the wife of Presentado, and devotion to my husband reaches as high as the heavens. Were I to say one unjust word against either father or son, I would not be able to avoid the most cruel death by the gods of heaven. The Memoirs of Lady Hyegyong was written in a process of 4 periods. The first was written on the year of her 60th birthday by her cousin's request. 3 other memoirs followed, some in part having the political motive of defending her father-in-law. Lady Hyegyong entered the royal court when she was 10, became a widow when she turned 28, and died at the age of 80. The existing manuscripts of the Memoirs of Lady Hyegyong are handwritten. Today, many translations and analytic writings have been published. This book gives us an impression deeper than the French Marquis Savigny's collection of epistles.
The most interesting part is that it's woman writing. In most of the Western countries, and especially in France, writing is something for men. If you could name some French writers, that will almost certainly be men. Here in Korea, because of the society and because some people were writing in Chinese for the public and in Korean for internal or secret reasons, women have been able to get their share of literature since King Sejong, since they have Hangul at their disposal. And you can see in this book that the way that women for many years have been able to work on all the aspects of literature. And this is the reason why today, when you go in any library, you could see as many important bestsellers from women writers than from men writers.
When we read this book, we encounter the traditions and dark feuds for power of the Joseon royal court. We also see the great spirit of someone who has sublimated all of this. More like a novel than any real novel, this book teaches us what history is and how a person's life can change when it meets history.
The Memoirs of Lady Hyegyong. It is a book where you can meet the most tragic story of a royal family in Joseon Dynasty and its main character. The story is translated in English in a book by University of California Press. For more information, please check out the following site. Here the sad story is illustrated in detail. Thanks very much for joining me today and see you next time.